so annoyed. I'm so pissed off because yesterday I recorded this really insightful message. I had gotten this download a few days ago, and it's been on, the message has been on my heart for the last few days now, and so I felt compelled to share it, and I recorded it. The video ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be, and when I went to edit it this morning, it was gone. Like, it was just gone. So, everything happens for a reason. For whatever reason, maybe the video was too long. Maybe it wasn't succinct enough, or the message hadn't come through in the way it should have or would have been best received. So I'm recording it again. Let me just share what I wrote. My writing is far more eloquent than I feel in this moment. The negative impact of racism exceeds far beyond the ramifications of physical oppression. Systemic oppression has very real, tangible, visible, physical, and practical results. Job prevention, opportunity prevention, impedes financial progress, maintains and implements oppression, keeps people out of neighborhoods, blocks people from receiving proper medical care, the school-prison pipeline, unjust judicial system, police brutality, etc. These are all long-lasting, very real, unquestionable physical results of racism. Yet the reality is, in addition to the physical effects and implementation of racism, there are also mental, emotional, and spiritual effects as well that I dare say are even more detrimental than the physical conditions. This impact is generational. It is insidious. It is cultural. The lasting, overwhelming trauma of racism, whether you directly experience or are just aware of its existence, has an undeniable impact on your spirit. It defines how you view the world and how you view yourself, and it can do so in obvious ways, but the most detrimental are its subtleties. The impact it has on your psyche is unmatched by any other trauma. Most people live their entire lives without ever coming to that realization. Racism breaks your spirit. You can live your entire life oppressed, not realizing the sole key to your liberation is you. Think of a bully. The meanest, toughest, most obnoxious, violent bully you could ever experience as a child. Sure, you may have only been subjected to his abuse for a few years. You graduate, move on in life, change schools, the physical abuse has ceased, but by the time an opportunity to make new friends presents itself to you, the damage has already been done. You're convinced you're too fat, ugly, stupid, whatever the case may be. There's something wrong with you. You're a victim. And this shapes how you view yourself, as well as every single person you'll ever come into contact with. And you either continue in the role of the victim, or you become the bully. You hurt people before they get the chance to hurt you. Or maybe you assume both roles and alternate between the two depending on the situation. You carry this with you, this new way of life, regardless of whether or not you remember the details or have even consciously made the connection. In fact, mostly it's all subconscious. You hold on to this belief system well into adulthood. It shapes your reality, your relationships, and how you navigate life. If you have children, you pass your trauma down to them. The cycle continues, and then you die. And that's just a very personal experience. Imagine experiencing that, and in addition, society believes, perpetuates, and systemically implements structures that reinforce your trauma. In your city, state, country, in your quote-unquote home, and all over the world, there's no escape. And every person that looks like you shares that very same reality. How could an existence such as that not break your spirit? How could you possibly ever come to even know your spirit living in an existence like that? Well, you can't, at least not without reaching a certain level of consciousness and intentionality. To live a full life free of that restriction requires more than resistance. It requires liberation. Even to fight back and resist the existence of racism still requires your full attention. It must occupy your mind, time, and attention. To resist, you must be active, constantly on alert, and in a perpetual state of being aware to be able to identify each violation. Yet when our focus is entirely dedicated to resistance, what room do we have for our own growth? Racism is the distraction. Whether you're conscious of it or not, it keeps you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I've often wondered, how did I possess such ferocity, fearlessness, power, and confidence as a child? And where did all of that go? I knew my greatness. I knew my calling. I unwaveringly knew my fate, all before I ever had reason, or rather evidence, to support this knowing. But I knew and I believed no matter what anyone said. No matter who didn't like me or tried to make me feel like an outsider, I was aware of people's jealousy. I was aware of people not liking me. I knew everyone wasn't nice or my friend, as my mother used to say. But I never made the connection. I never for one second thought anyone had a problem with me or didn't accept me because I was black or because I wasn't what they were taught to believe black people should be. I never drew a connection to race, even when people had said horribly racist things to me. My mother would call me oblivious. I realize now I was, and still am, divinely protected. I had to remain oblivious or blind to certain things, and specifically racism. My inability to see certain truths preserved my spirit. My oblivion protected my clear knowing and conscious awareness of my greatness and of myself. The knowing of myself remained intact until I moved to LA. The insidiousness of racism began to seep into my reality, obstructing my vision and knowledge of the truth. Now I get to relearn, reclaim, and realign with who I am. I am powerful. I am a force. I can be, say, and do anything and everything I set my mind to. I am exceptional. Ain't nobody out there who is like me. I'm the only me. Only I can do what I do. I have a lot to offer. I am high value. I get to decide who and what I allow to share space with me. Only I get to determine my own limitations, and I have none. I am exceptional. I am dynamic. I am who I am meant to be. The universe sends me the people who are willing and able to freely contribute to my prosperity, success, and expansion financially, professionally, personally, and spiritually. I am abundant. I lead an abundant, rich life in service of my purpose and my highest good. Every experience I have is a blessing, for it brings me opportunities in service of my prosperity, growth, and evolution in service of my highest good. I receive all lessons that contribute to my growth, healing, and abundance with ease and grace. I know who I am. I see myself clearly and accurately. I am divine, and I take ownership of my sovereignty. Liberation is true resistance. When you are liberated, nothing outside of yourself can affect or influence your self-worth, your identity, or your possibilities. Only you get to do that. The physical ramifications of racism are very real and make life harder. They present obstacles and challenges no white person will ever face. Yet not even racism can make anything impossible. Even against all odds, we can overcome. We shouldn't have to. It isn't fair. No one should have to combat systemic oppression. But if you want to live, if you want to be free, if you want to have even the slightest chance of true happiness, you must and you will. I determine my fate. I get to release all distractions, recenter, shift, and refocus on myself, my dreams, my mission, my purpose, my intention, my love, my life, my joy, my fulfillment, my birthright of prosperity, abundance, financial wealth, and my liberation. Only I control my mind. So that sums up the gist of it, right? Liberation is true resistance. So it's not And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying be passive. I'm not saying ignore reality. I'm not saying bury your head in the sand and pretend like racism doesn't exist or it doesn't affect you. Because if you're a person of color, it absolutely does. I'm saying refuse to allow yourself to be broken. I'm saying hold on to your true self before you realized racism ever existed. I'm saying focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. We must resist. But we also must acknowledge that liberation, freedom, truly knowing, believing that you are capable of living the life that you want, achieving the goals that you want, living in your purpose and your mission, and not allowing anyone or anything to divert you away from that, even if it's systemic oppression. When you go one way and someone says, no, you can't do that, you... instead of necessarily, and you can't, it's up to the individual to decide, okay, I'm going to tackle you dead on and we're going to go to battle, go to war, and this is going to be like a 5 to 10 year battle. Or you can go around, find another way, but anything is possible. The difference between the mentality of someone who comes from who's born into systemic oppression versus someone who isn't, is that the person who isn't, white people, they see the possibilities. They think anything is possible. Generally, right? Versus a person of color who is constantly on a subconscious level being fed lies about who they are and what they're meant to do and who they're supposed to be. They see that limitation or they sense that limitation, and so they don't even try. And that is a broken spirit. And I'm not saying that people of color are broken. We're not. But we must resist beyond being stuck in this matrix, right, of what we're told is real, because it's not. It's breaking out of that. It's seeing beyond it. It's knowing who you truly are, seeing that potential obstacle and going anyway. Not with the subconscious belief of I'm never going to do it, this isn't going to work out, but knowing that it can and that it will. Liberation. We must liberate ourselves from this matrix, from the lies, from the patriarchy, from white supremacy, from white power, and this can be applied to any form of oppression, right? Any form of oppression, any marginalized person can identify with this message. It's seeing beyond the smoke and mirrors of the bullshit. Because once they control your mind, then they control your reality. And no one should control your reality or even have access to your reality but you, or without your say-so. But really, no one should have access to your reality but you. Or access to being able to control your reality but you. So I hope you find this message empowering. I hope if it resonates, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your comments. I'm available for readings. Actually, you know what? Let's pull a card, just one card, just to feel out see if Spirit has any other guidance they would like for us to receive regarding systemic oppression and liberating ourselves from systemic oppression. What guidance do you have for the collective regarding our liberation from systemic oppression? What guidance do you have for the collective regarding our liberation? Wow, systemic oppression. I wasn't expecting that. So more cards fell out. Initially, I just wanted to use one card, but Spirit has a lot to say. So you just gotta roll with the punches and take the message, receive the message, right? So the overall energy is the Fool. The overall energy of this reading is the Fool, which is a new beginning, taking a leap of faith, stepping into the unknown, leaning into the unknown, taking measures we have yet to take, and I'm doing something new, trying something new. This is a new chapter. This is a new world. It's really opening up our minds, our third eye, seeing the possibility beyond what we can see with our eyes. But it's more about what we receive intuitively. The downloads, the messages, the guidance, the support, the connection with the divine. The sacrificial lamb. There is something sacrificial about this, sacrificing our innocence, or maybe it's not sacrificing our innocence, it's reconnecting to our innocence. Believing in the possibilities, believing in the infinite possibilities, the infinite potential. Possibilities, I hate that word, potential. And a new beginning with the Fool, which is card 0 of the major arcana. So I was surprised that our first card out is the 7 of coins. But this is, I don't know why I was surprised. I guess maybe I was expecting something more profound, right? But the 7 of coins, that is reassess. It's analysis. It's analysis. It's reassessing where we invest our energy, where we direct our focus, how we operate, how we navigate, reassess what our values and what we've always known to be possible and impossible, reassessing our quote-unquote limitations, realizing what truly is, in fact, not what we once perceived as limiting is actually, or restrictive, is actually not. It doesn't exist. Limitations don't exist. It's divesting from the system to build a new one. And we've got the 7 of Cups here. So this is seeing through, oh my God. We've got the 7 of Cups here. Do you see all of these options here, or all of these temptations here? And then there's this image that's kind of in a haze, in a cloud. It's not quite visible. This is seeing through the delusion, the facade, the confusion. It's reassessing what we once perceived as real things and seeing through that, seeing through the bullshit, reassessing this whole system to discover that this is just, it's an illusion. It's somebody's fantasy. It's somebody's intentional or orchestrated distraction. Facade. Like, that's what oppression is. Monkey see, monkey do. Just seeing this monkey in this card, right? But it's actually, the monkey is breaking out of the cage. The monkey is breaking out of the cage, climbing that tree to gain a higher perspective above, over, beyond this confusion here. Beyond this distraction, beyond this facade, beyond the smoke and mirrors, beyond the clouds, beyond the smoke, beyond the lies, beyond the intentional manipulation of systemic oppression. It's really tuning into the divine here with the Hermit. because the Hermit is looking directly at the bullshit here. I mean, I wish I could think of another word right now, but right now I'm at a loss for words. But the Hermit is confronting this. The Hermit is confronting this. It's facing this energy, but from a place of separation, from a grounded place of separation. Why? It's in service of his enlightenment. Again, with this third eye here, I feel like a lot of us, we're awakening. Our third eyes are opening up, are developing, are clearing away the cobwebs. The veil is arising. The veil is coming off. Oh my God, and doubly confirmed is the sun with illumination. This is where we're headed. And it may feel lonely, right? It may feel lonely. It may actually be lonely. Because you may be this person. You may be this hermit. You may be becoming enlightened. In separation from everybody else here who's distracted, who isn't focused, or who's focused on the facade, on the bullshit, on the confusion, on the illusion. Everyone else here who's delusional. And I don't say that from a place of judgment, but it is what it is. And that waking up, it can be a lonely ride. That journey, the journey to enlightenment, can actually be a lonely ride, but that's okay. Because there is this feeling of, there's this feeling of community. There's this feeling of, it's like you go through this, you've got to go through this, we've got to go through this process alone, because only we can come to know the truth of our own accord. That is a direct connection with the divine, a direct connection with spirit. People can hold space for you, people can inspire you in just you being witness to their own evolution and ascension, and enlightenment journey, right? However, nobody can do this work for you, right? So it is a singular, it's a very singular energy. However, this new beginning is coming to a place, with, starting a chapter that's new, with a collective energy, a new collective energy. It's a rebirth. And only you can go through that birthing canal alone in this hermit energy. But in the end, once we've attained this new level, once we've broken out of the matrix, we can collectively come together to combine our efforts. I mean, why else would I have felt compelled to share this message, right? So we are heading towards a new world in many ways, and that doesn't mean that racism, will no longer come to exist, but it does mean that we will find salvation, we will find freedom, we will find our liberation, and liberation comes with enlightenment. And the sacrifice requires your commitment, or this new world, this new chapter requires your commitment, which, yes, sacrifice, this sacrificial lamb, which will feel like a sacrifice. And the sacrifice, the feeling of sacrifice may come from, this feeling of loneliness, right? But that's okay, because the sun, not only is it enlightenment, but this is joy. This is salvation. This is vitality. So that's the guidance. That's the message, folks. I hope that resonates. Again, thank you so much for your likes, shares, your subscribes, your comments, your donations. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are alerted to when I upload more videos. What else? Any news? Yes. News. So I now have these mini love candles available, mini I Am Love candles available through Valentine's Day. They have red roses, red quartz, intentional oil. This is great to call in romantic love, but also self-love and whatever other unconditional love and compassion you need from the universe or you would like from the universe. So be sure to check out my Etsy shop to get one of these mini beauties. And I think that's it. So thank you. Your monthly readings are coming up soon. Oh, and my birthday is next week too. So my birthday is Thursday. So if you want to send your girl a little something, Cash App, Venmo, it's all below in the description box. Thank you again, and I will see you soon. Bye.